Focus on yourself. First, rewire your mind for inner strength. Narration. There comes a moment in life when everything outside you feels loud. People's opinions, expectations, demands, comparisons, noise from the world that never seems to stop. And in the middle of all that noise, you slowly forget something very important. You forget yourself, not your name, not your responsibilities, but your inner space, your mental strength, your emotional balance. You start living outward instead of inward. You react more than you reflect. You respond to everything except your own needs. You chase approval, validation, and direction from others. And without noticing, your mind becomes scattered. Weak in focus, heavy in emotion, confused in purpose. This is where the shift must begin. Focus on yourself first, not in a selfish way, but in a grounding way, in a way that rebuilds your mental foundation. Because you cannot create a stable life with an unstable mind. Take a moment and observe. How often do you check other people's lives before checking your own thoughts? How often do you think about what others expect from you before asking what you actually need? This pattern is not weakness. It is conditioning. Your mind learned to survive by looking outward. But survival is not the same as strength. Strength begins when you turn inward again. When you start listening to your own thoughts without judgment, when you stop abandoning yourself to please others, when you stop leaking energy into things you cannot control. Rewiring your mind starts here. Every time you catch yourself overthinking someone's opinion, gently return to yourself. Every time you feel pulled into comparison, pause and ask, is this helping my growth or draining my peace? Every time you feel emotionally reactive, slow down your breath and reconnect with your inner space. Because inner strength is not loud. It is steady. It is the ability to stay with yourself even when nothing outside is stable. You do not need to fix your entire life in one day. You only need to rebuild your attention. Where your attention goes, your identity follows. If your attention is always outside, your life will feel scattered. If your attention returns to yourself, your mind begins to rewire. You begin to notice small changes. You react less. You think clearer. You feel lighter. Not because the world changed, but because you did. Focusing on yourself first also means accepting responsibility for your inner world. No one else can regulate your thoughts for you. No one else can calm your emotions permanently. No one else can build your discipline. That is an inside job. And once you understand this, something powerful happens. You stop waiting for people to change before you feel peace. You stop waiting for perfect conditions before you start growing. You stop giving your power away to circumstances. Instead, you begin building from within. You start choosing thoughts that support your strength. You start letting go of thoughts that weaken your focus. You start training your mind like a quiet discipline. This is the rewiring process. Not dramatic, not sudden, but consistent, like training a muscle. And in time, you notice something important. The same situations that used to disturb you no longer control you. The same opinions that used to shake you no longer define you. The same chaos that used to pull you outward no longer owns your attention. Because you have returned to yourself. And that is inner strength. Not perfection, not control over everything, but stability within yourself regardless of everything. So today, begin again. Bring your attention back. Back from a noise. Back from comparison. Back from worry about things you cannot control. And place it gently where it belongs. On your thoughts. On your breath. On your choices. On your growth. Focus on yourself first. And slowly, your mind will rewire itself toward strength. Toward clarity. Toward calm. Toward a deeper sense of who you truly are.